All right. Okay, so we are starting just, let's say, in a minute. Just give another minute to everyone to connect. Okay. Yes, thank you for the reactions. How is your mood, guys? So you can send the reactions and, tell us how you're doing today. I'm gonna have my reaction like that. I've been laughing the whole day and it's night for me, so I am still on that vibe. Even now, yes, perfect. I can see that. You're also on a very good note, and I know that we are going to have an amazing 2-hour workshop. All right. Good. Okay, so should we get started? The team? Yes? Okay, good. So, hello everyone, and as I said, it's so nice to see you all joining to the workshop on effective negotiations using generative AI. And my name is Diana. I'm going to be your moderator for today. I'm not going to be talking much because we have 3 amazing guests who are there for us to help learn and boost the skills on using AI for negotiations. Yes, welcome everyone. Hello. So today we are engaging into our workshop. We are going to have to have some theoretical part. We are also going to have demonstration with some practical prompts and very interesting tools for you to use, as well as we're going to have some break to relax and another part of demonstration. You are going to have a very nice PDF file with all the prompts, so don't worry if you're missing something or something like that. You'll practice all of it and you'll have the instructions. So this project is actually a part of negotiations for project managers program that is running this year by PMI, and we are super grateful to all the sponsors of this project that come through from all over the world. We have Slovenia here, Ecuador, Mexico, Peru, Chile, Dominicana, and it's very nice to have such a diverse sponsors on the program with us. And I think that this brings a very great insight into the whole program itself. So let me introduce the Yoda master, the number one enthusiast of AI, our Misael Castro Rosas, who is going to be the speaker for the biggest part of today's workshop, and he is the one who he not only has over 20 years of experience in project management, he also has certificates on AI from different universities on engineering prompts, as well as he is PMI Infinity volunteer who has been helping to test this product and to deliver better results with it. So this person is someone who knows, not only knows, but has the practical skill of using AI not only for negotiations, but for different purposes to boost the performance of project managers. And we're super lucky to have him today with us, sharing some of the tools. And before I'm giving the floor to Misael, so guys, could you please share with us in the chat if you have ever used ChatGPT, for example, as one of the most common generative AI tools in your work practice? So please send yes or no and tell us, yes, very nice, very good, thank you. Yes, very good. Okay, so you have already some knowledge and experience, only tested it. Yes, I understand. Oh, hi, Joy, actually, one of our guests today as well. Yes, amazing. So, Misael, you are having a very practical-oriented audience today, which is an amazing audience to work with. So thank you guys for joining in. And Misael, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you, Diana, for the great introduction, such as energy introduction. it is great to see everybody here. I really want to thank you all for joining us today. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, because I know we have people from all over the world. So it is great to have you here. And today I will be presenting to you how to use AI effectively on your negotiations. So the agenda that we will go through is first, we are going to discuss how AI is transforming negotiations, the roles of the AI in the process of negotiations, the importance of the personas, and we are going to go through a demonstration during this workshop, which is one of the most exciting things that we really want to show you, how to get the most from the models. We will go through a break, and we're going to talk about also the advantages of using generative AI in your workflows. We'll have a great surprise, professional and great coach, Mr. Joe Murphy, who will also share with us a great speech. So I know that everyone knows how to negotiate, right? In at home, at work, when you go to supermarket, on your business, everyone knows how to negotiate. So that's great. But today I want to show you a new way to scale up your skills in negotiations. And that means using generative AI as your thinking partner. That means to adopt a new mindset. A new mindset means that having generative AI as your thinking partner, it will also help you to augment your intelligence, meaning that you will be able to get better prepared, also have better tools, how to predict better outcomes on your negotiations. Because generative AI, it's a very human-oriented technology, and it's very easy to use. So you don't really need to do any coding. You just need to use natural language, which really makes easy for everyone on the negotiations. The only thing you have to care about is to be curious, to use your creativity, and craft amazing or creative prompts. What I mean by this is that when you use generative AI, you are open the door to a lot of possibilities that you never think of. Now, if you are not able or you are not good at prompting, don't worry. You can ask ChatGPT or any other large language models that you like to work with to say, hey, help me craft good prompts. So that is one of the good things. The models are learning today, and they have been trained during the recent months, and they have been very amazing on how they are learning with a massive amount of data. So now they know how to prompt, and they can help you prompting. So now you can use it, adopt it in your workflow. Okay, now I'm going to talk about how AI is transforming how we do, or how AI is transforming in the research field, right? So through the lens of the AI, right, universities and companies are using this technology, facial recognition technology, to analyze human facial expressions in real time, meaning that they can get insights, right, of the emotions and reaction of the people. So that can help to make better strategies and in the decision making, and even be better prepared on your negotiations. So this is a great integration of technology and understanding the human intelligence to get better outcomes on when you are going into a negotiation. So this is happening in the research, But the other cool thing that Harvard University shared on his study is that they are also analyzing audio conversations, which means that they can understand and identify patterns, which helps to identify during the 5 first minutes to predict what are the potential outcomes in that negotiation. So that is what is happening in the research. Now, today, companies and even some customer service area departments are using AI agents as a negotiators. And I would like to share one example that Walmart is already using these AI agents. These are on charge to make negotiations with suppliers. And believe it or not, they have really make it great. I mean, they have been trained with a massive amount of data. In 2022, Walmart launched this product or these chatbots, and they have been able to cut savings 3%, and also they have increased supplier satisfaction during the negotiations with these AI agents. So this is really transforming the way we are doing negotiations today, and many other companies are already exploring this area. Okay, so this is really amazing. Now, what is doing for us? And I mean, I think that we are all here together because we want to share, we want to learn also how to improve our negotiation skills, right? So the AI is also helping us to personalize training programs based on your industry, based on your background, based on your even personal context. And it is amazing because you can create it by yourself and it will really help you to do amazing things. The other thing that it's doing and it's really changing the experience in the negotiations is by doing role play simulations. And what I mean by this with role play simulations, one purpose is for training, for practicing, and the other is think about that you are going into a negotiation for an important deal, for a hard stakeholder, for even with another colleague that you need from another project X resources, right? And you are going to negotiate. So you can even bring your real case and put it into the role play simulation and work from there. So it is pretty amazing how this can really help you. And I will explain more during the demonstration. The other cool thing is that when we use this role play simulations, you can also, it will also help you predict possible outcomes. So when you are doing a preparation for your negotiation, you can put some information like what are my initial starting point of negotiations, what are my changing area of negotiation, what is the possible area of agreements. So all these kind of things, you can put it in numbers and the model can also help you to do that. So this is pretty cool for us. Now, you might say, well, how do I do that? Who are engaged in? What are the role players in this process? Well, we have two parts. The first one is think about that AI will be your coach, right? Which will help you to make more effective negotiations. He will guide you through before, during, even during or after the post negotiation. The other is the AI agent, the one that you are going to tell, hey, you will do this, you will analyze this information, help me make the risk assessment, understand possible outcomes. You assign the task to it. So he will be your virtual assistant, or even as the case that I mentioned to you, for Walmart, he will be your agent negotiator. Okay, this is a cool part that I want to emphasize this, and I'm pretty sure that you have heard a lot about the setting up the persona in the prompt, putting like act as persona, pretend to be persona, you are persona, and using assignment roles during interaction with ChatGPT. Well, there is one reason why it is important to set the persona. We will share 7 approaches today in this presentation, and we're going to go with some of them during the demonstration, right? Because we don't have so much time. But today I want to show you just the 7 approaches that we have to set up the persona, right? In ChatGPT or in any other large language models that you might want to use. And there are 7 approaches, as I mentioned. The one that is what the AI models are trained on, right? They have an AI society with a set of skills. There are more than 50 with domain expertise, whatever. So normally when you are going to interact with ChatGPT or other model, you will say, hey, you will be this persona or act as my coach in negotiations, and your goal is to do this and help me to achieve this. Okay, so you're telling the model what the role he will take, but using the AI society approach. But you exactly don't know what are the skills, what are the characters that the model is using. Now, by using these 7 approaches that I will talk to you more about, is one in the first case, for example, we can use the name of a famous persona in a negotiation. For example, we use one case like a famous guy, Chris Voss, who is a great negotiator for hosting negotiations, FEI, and if you Google it, he's already on internet, so on Wikipedia as well. So ChatGPT was trained with all his information, so he will behave like Chris Voss in this negotiation. And when you are talking to the model, he will embody that persona. The other approach to interact with the model or to make a great negotiator, because this is so important to mention that when you put the persona, you create a good negotiator, easy negotiator, tough negotiator. It is the way you set up the personas. The other example is the personas bio. Think about that you are going to go into a negotiation with even with your boss, even with a tough customer, but you already know how is your customer. Maybe you can bring his bio and you can put it in the chat and you say, hey, I'm going to practice simulate my negotiation with my customer, right? So I put his bio into the model and then I practice the negotiation just like if he will be in front of me. So this is one simple case. And what I will do is just put in the prompt, all the letters that are here highlighted in blue is to say, hey, whenever you produce an output, okay, produce the output that the persona in the bio, and you paste the bio persona into the prompt, will produce. And then he will say, hey, yes, it's great to meet you or speak with you. I am this persona, and today I will negotiate with you. So you are changing the behavior of the ChatGPT or of the other model. So this is another great one, and I really love it. It is this approach is, we call it, and I think it is more used on psychology. They call it the interpersonal cycle, which means is that in the prompt, right? I mean, we have a structured prompts that I will share with you later on. But what we are doing here is that we are telling the model how he will behave in that negotiation. For example, you can tell, okay, you are a dominant, okay, in this negotiation, and you will be 80% dominant, and you will be 20% friendly, warm, for example. That will be a very tough negotiation, right? But maybe you have some customers or other stakeholders, or think about your project sponsor. Maybe he's more friendly, he's more open, right? So you would say, okay, I'll put 50% and 50%, and then you roll out the simulation, and you will really see how that changed, right? The level of during the negotiation interaction, you will see that by changing these parameters, also the AI model will behave in different way. So it is pretty interesting. But we'll talk later more on this. Okay, this is another approach, right? Which is giving the exact character to the persona in the negotiation, meaning that you will tell the model the traits, how he will behave. You will put the description about his background, his personality, his strengths, weaknesses, and he will behave just exactly like that. So you are really, by doing this, you will really know what the skills, what behaviors the model will use during that negotiation. So this is very powerful because you really know what skills the AI is using. And the other one is by customizing ChatGPT, which means you tell ChatGPT who you are and how you want ChatGPT to respond. So you are giving exact persona, but you make this at the level application, not in the prompt. So anytime that ChatGPT responds to you, he will remember, oh yes, I am this person, I should respond briefly, or I should be skeptical, something like that, right? And this is the last approach, the seventh approach. And this is just, we are programming the model how to respond in the future. Meaning that we tell, because sometimes when you are interacting with a model, sometimes it forgets and you say, hey, come on, you are responding something out of the place. You are not giving me what I want to. So you remember the model and say, hey, remember you forgot this. Don't forget to give me this information, or remember you are this person. But by doing this, the model, whenever he will respond something, he will go and remember and say, oh yes, I am this person, I should respond in this way. So you give this the model how he will be behaving in the future, right? Now, one thing that I want to mention, and I don't plan to continue on speaking more on this. I would love to go also to the demo. But one important thing is that we as humans are biased. That's our nature, and the way AI is trained may have been built in biases. So we don't know exactly what biases the model is using. And one example is that I mentioned to you. If you go to ChatGPT and type in, tell me about the AI society, what are the roles, or what are the user roles, what are the domains, or what are the skills that these models really have. You will know it, but you really know what how to say, whether the model is using biases to the interaction with you or not. But how do you overcome this? Well, you can do this by setting the guardrails, the parameters, the boundaries, and you tell the model, hey, I want you to behave like this, don't do this, don't do that, and then the model will only play in that area. So with that, I think that this is the theory part, and hopefully this is the starting point from this workshop. But Diana, I think that this is all I have for the theoretical part.
Thank you so much, Misael. And we are going to continue on with the demonstration. And before we're doing that, I told you that we are going to have 3 guests. So I'd like to invite our second guest today for just a couple of minutes to answer some of the questions coming to us right now. So Robinson, please join our conversation. And Robinson is someone who has 80 years of experience in the intersection of IT, project management, negotiation in public and private sector, and he is the person who is at the heart of our project. So Robinson, we've been talking, and Misael been talking a lot about the persona in negotiation and using AI, but how many types of AI are there actually? You're muted.
Thank you, Diana.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Hi, audience, dear audience. First of all, thanks for joining the workshop. About the question, how many types of AI are there? I'm going to add some knowledge, some concepts to help you have a better idea theoretically where are we standing, and to summarize and reaffirm the previous explained. There are basically three types of AI. They're predictive, also known as classical AI, which intends to predict something based on the events past in the history of something. The generative AI, also known like a GAI, and the multimodal. This demo is based on the use of ChatGPT, which is basically generative AI, right? That's for the first question.
Okay. Thanks. And there is one more question. So why is it important to understand the persona in general?
Okay.
When we talk about negotiation persona.
Okay. To make an effective usage of the tool, which is basically to maximize the potential and by so understanding the capabilities and limitations of the tool that allows user to leverage it effectively, ensuring that they can exploit its strength while being aware of its weakness, right? Because the tool is not perfect. Also to align tasks. Once you know what ChatGPT can do or not, helps in aligning its usage with the appropriate task you need, and thereby improving your efficiency and the outcomes. Also, it's important to understand the persona because of the ethical and responsible usage, which means prevent misuse. Since you're aware of how GPT handles sensitive content and its ethical considerations, that ensures a responsible usage. Also, you minimize the risk of generating harmful content bias. And also to provide compliance. Once you understand how to handle data and the private aspect, it is crucial for complying with the regulations and maintaining the user trust. It's very important not to lose the user trust, and to customize an integration, like for example, to provide tailored solutions, insights into how to customization options allowed users to find how to tune ChatGPT for a specific application, a purpose. Also allows you to provide a seamless integration, which means to have knowledge of technical integration facilities and a smooth deployment of ChatGPT within existing systems or workflows. Also, the user experience. You need to enhance the interaction, understanding how ChatGPT effectively, would you interact effectively with ChatGPT. Users can craft a better prompt each time better. The tool indeed helps you to improve your prompts and how to question to the tool. In summary, understanding the persona of ChatGPT is crucial for maximizing its utility, ensuring ethical usage, facilitating communication and integration, also enhancing the user experience and contributing to its continuous improvement. This is holistic understanding is very, very important because empower the users to interact more effectively with ChatGPT and derive and get a better value from its capabilities. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robinson, especially highlighting the ethical part and all of the data thing, because I think it is something on the agenda today, and we should really consider it while working with AI. So, Misael, are we ready to start with the demo? And before we do that, we have also one more question, maybe in short, if you could answer it. Can two AI instances negotiate?
Yeah.
Misael, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, can you
Okay.
repeat again? Just to make sure I have clear.
Yes, we can hear you clearly, and we are ready for the demo.
Yeah, what was the question? Say that again, please.
So the question was, can two AI instances negotiate?
Yeah, this is pretty good one. I love it. Actually, I have made some tests, right, by having two phones negotiating each other. I started a conversation with my phone, okay, and because, well, the answer is yes, they can negotiate. Two agents can talk each other and they can negotiate. That can happen. Now, with the release of ChatGPT O, they improved massively, impressively with voice capabilities. And I put two telephones, okay, and I started. I put the prompt on my desktop PC and synchronized it with this phone, and then on the other phone, and then I started the negotiation and say, hey, you will negotiate with my other AI agent, and I will be learning from you guys how you negotiate. And then, believe me, these two agents started talking and doing the negotiation. It was pretty amazing. It was done that with the AI challenge that we will talk later on, but also some other experimentation and researchers are doing so. So this is pretty cool thing that is also kind of scary at a certain point, because, think about two agents negotiating each other. It's quite interesting. I'm not sure
Thank you
if I
so much,
answered this.
Misael. Yeah, you definitely answered. And guys, so this is where I said that this is the Yoda master and everything. You can see that he is testing and experimenting himself. So not only,
Yeah.
learning it from somewhere. So thank you so much, Misael. And let's dive into the demo.
Okay, cool. This is the full part. Okay, so we are going to go to, well, before I start, guys, all of you that registered, you should have received an email with this great document that contains it's a guide that contains all the prompts. You will have the how to set up ChatGPT, okay, how to create it for your context, and you will have also the guides how to set up the persona. I mean, I just talked to it just a few minutes ago, but here is the quick explanation. I mean, you can go through it and you can really understand how to do it. Now, the cool thing is that we have crafted more than 16 prompts here, and we call it conversation starters. And because, I think that sometimes people don't know how to where to start, how to ask ChatGPT to get better results, or how to steer the conversation in the way you want to take it. Well, we craft this these prompts from different books and also from all contribution from the team. And I think those are very powerful to you. So I encourage you to use them. We'll don't have time to discuss every of them, but we'll go with some of them, but use them. And then we have also here something that we call structured prompts, which are a set of prompts organized logically to achieve one goal. And one example is, you can, for example, the negotiation skill self-assessment. You only need to copy this prompt, okay, paste it into ChatGPT and assess your negotiation skills. Or you can run your own challenge to negotiate, and I will talk more later, or you can build your scenario based on your project context. Okay, and you just need to copy and paste it. That is all you need to do. Okay, so everyone has this document, so don't worry if you don't catch everything. We have two things, this document and we have coming workshops, okay? Coming workshops where you will have the chance to practice with our expert coaches in negotiations, okay? Okay, so I want to start first with, I know you guys all, I have seen that most of the people already been using ChatGPT, and I think that you probably have a great knowledge of this tool, but I would like to start from the beginning just so that everyone also is up to date with it. But one thing I would like to tell you is that, you can customize the persona, okay? The persona can be set up in this, if you go to ChatGPT and then just go to customize ChatGPT, you will tell ChatGPT the instructions, who you are, right? You will share a little bit about your background. You can change some sort of personal or some sort of professional background, right? And you can also tell ChatGPT how you want ChatGPT to respond, whether professional, friendly, skeptical, how you want the model to respond. So anytime that you interact with the model, he will go through these settings and he will remember everything. Now, just to get started, I will just ask one question to ChatGPT, like for example, and I'll show you why I am doing this. I'll tell ChatGPT, what can you do for me? Okay, and I have not customized ChatGPT for any of our tasks. It is just a very general, okay, question, and he will say, "Hey, I can do all these things, more than 10 tasks he can do," but he's not talking to any specific topic, not in a specific context. But I will now tell ChatGPT, okay, who I am. Okay, excuse me, it's not here. Okay, I want to customize ChatGPT. I want to tell it who I am and how I want ChatGPT to respond. For example, I am a program manager with 2 years experience, and I working on this industry, and I want ChatGPT to respond to me with a friendly but using project management terminologies, etc., etc. But I am telling that you are Chris Croft, right? A famous trainer and expert in negotiations in the project management field. Okay, so I just click here, saved, and then I'll ask the same questions. Okay, I start a new conversation with the model, and I'll say, "Hi, Chris," and let's see what he says. Okay, he responded to me, and now you see he's responding with some emojis, and he's also talking in the context of project management, right? So now I'll ask, what can you do for me? Okay. Oh, excuse me. That's my keyword. Okay, and now, as you see, now the model is customized in the context I want the ChatGPT to behave and act in this conversation. And he says, "Oh, you know, I can help with." He's now talking specifically in the context of project management. He is also talking in the terms of negotiations. And he says, "Oh, you know, since you are in IT consulting industry, I can also help with this, right? And some others, right? I can continue digging, asking, like, hey, tell me more," and he will maybe he will say more, right? He's, hey, I have more. I can give you tips. I can do a lot more things. Okay. Okay, so this is one way you can set up the persona, right? And this was a very simple way to do it, but I'm going to remove this because, you know, I'm going to show you another approach how to set up the persona for negotiation. Okay. And now I want to start a fresh conversation, right? And as you may recall, we have 7 approaches to set up the persona, okay? And today I'm going to use this approach, okay? And to set up the persona, right? What I'm going to do now is just to show you how I will interact with ChatGPT, but using unstructured prompts or in a more conversational way. I'm not giving complex prompts. I'm not using pattern prompts. I will just use it in a very conversational way. But before that, I'm going to bring the model to my context, okay? So I'm telling the model, hey, you are Carl Jensen, right? You are my coach in negotiations, someone who has more than 30 years experience in international management and negotiations. You have books and you have done many great, amazing things. And, but you know, your goal is to help project managers to maximize project negotiations, right? But let's be friendly and let's use project management terminologies, okay? And I'm telling, yeah, and let's get started. Okay, so it's working. And now the model says, hey, yes, I am Kel Jensen, I'm your coach. And all the information that I gave it to the model, he is like, yeah, he's introducing himself, right? So he says, now, what topics would you like to discuss today? All right. So now he's obviously talking about whether negotiations or any whether we want to build any techniques, etc., etc. Okay. So this is what the model is doing, and now we are in the context of negotiations. We can start talking. So this is great. And now, you know, I can do very natural conversation way, like for example, maybe I can tell the model, hey, you know, maybe something very simple that you may say, okay, we can start from the basic, right? What makes a great negotiator, right? For example, powered by AI. And he will, you know, will get the response, right? But this is not all. I mean, we can continue doing follow-up questions, doing deeper, going further into each topic. Let's say, for example, I want to say, show me more about what means data-driven, or show me more about how to enhance my communication skills, and a lot more that I can go with it. But this is just one pretty example, not complex. Now, as I mentioned to you before, we craft more than 16 conversation started prompts that, you know, it steers the communication in the context of negotiations. So now you may say, well, what can ChatGPT or any other model can do for me, right? So I want to know what task that it can do for me as a project manager in how to maximize my negotiation outcomes. Okay, I just put the prompt here, and again, you have it in your document. And now you have a better idea, right? You have a better idea because now you know what, look, there are more than 10 tasks that it can do for you. It can help you with analysis. It can help you to analyze historical data and optimize proposals, help you with risk assessment, build some simulation scenarios. I mean, he's giving you a better idea of what can the model do for you, right? So you are not blank, and maybe you can go in point A, for example, and say, hey, tell me, how can I create a tool to build negotiation planning, right? And you can work with the model, and it will help you to create or build your planner for negotiations, right? For example. Now, I'm going to go another one, which is a cool one. Again, I'm not going to go through all of them because unfortunately we don't have so much time. But this one is really cool one because, you know, I'm telling the model, hey, you are the expert negotiator coach who always takes higher stakes from negotiations. Teach me how to identify when hints, you know, to identify hints when I'm about to lose or already losing a negotiation and win it back. And this is really good one because think about that. Sometimes you are in a negotiations and you are losing. You notice that you are already losing that negotiation. So you say, well, how can I win it back? How can I recover? Well, there are some techniques, there are some hints that the model can help you practice and give you some good things to recover from that negotiation that you are about to lose. And he's going to give you a lot of good advices, right? Like, oh, you know, you can, I mean, he's saying, okay, when you are losing, here are the hints, right? And he's giving us, how many? 5, right? Maybe you will see that your counterpart has frequent rejections, or he has decreased the communication. He's not having eye contact with you. He's not willing to commit with anything. And these are some of the good things that it's giving you some hints, but also giving you some advice, right? What you can do to, to recover. But not only that, he's giving you some strategies to win it back, right? Like do pauses, which sometimes is really powerful, or you can build rapport with your counterpart when you are in a negotiation, right? And a lot more. So there are 7. And not only that, he's also giving you some practical examples. With this is really good for us to have an idea, right? So you are not, excuse me, and this is the great part for AI or generative AI, that when you use it as your thinking partner or as your assistant, you are not starting from zero. You are really starting 40-60% of your work is done. So the rest is all yours, and you are the one that will make the decision how to use it, what to use it, and what is not worth for you from the AI. So this is really pretty cool that you can take from these tools. Okay, so this is just about this prompt. Let me share you another example. Okay. Okay. All right. I think this one is pretty cool one. Okay, now let's think that you want to practice tactics, right? Or you can practice some strategies. But let's think about that you want to practice some, how to say, yeah, what you want to simulate and in a role play scenario, right? So we can do in a very simple way This is a pretty simple way, but we have other complex prompts that we'll talk later, but this is the easy way to do it. You just tell the model, hey, create the negotiation scenario in the context of project management, right? But what I really want is, I want you to help me practice responding to difficult tactics. How should, and then ask if my performance is good or not, and what should I improve, whatever. So you just start, run it, and the model will automatically create the scenario for the negotiation, giving you the background of the negotiation, the objective of the negotiation. You will get here the supplier, the tactics, right? I mean, you know, he's saying, hey, we are going to play these tactics like the high ball, low ball, time pressure, and appeal to emotions. So these are the tactics that we are going to practice during this negotiation. And, you know, he's giving you here the context of the, I mean, how the supplier will start the conversation, right? Because how to say, this is the, and he starts right now with the first questions. So, and then from here you can start rolling on the negotiation. And I will not go deeply into this negotiation because that will take a lot of our time. But there is one cool thing. There is another cool thing I want to show you, right? Because now the model, after he introduced all the information, the context and the objectives, and what are the challenges of the negotiations, the model says, okay, are you ready to start with the role play? Let's see how you respond to these tactics and navigate during the negotiation, right? So I also want, you know, because sometimes in negotiations, it is very important, the body language, right? The gestures of the persona, and sometimes it gives you a lot. And those kind of things are very important because you can also have a better strategy, or know when your counterpart is losing the negotiation, or he's not interested in negotiation, because sometimes he's doing some body languages that will really help you a lot to make a better strategy during that negotiation. So we can also simulate that. We can also ask the model to do that, and I want to show you how we can do that. Okay. All right. So I'm telling the model, from now on, translate anything I write into a series of gestures, body, and actions from my counterpart that represents my counterpart's reaction to what I say during the negotiation. You will stop doing this until I'll tell you stop doing this. And then what he will do, he will start translating into body reaction to anything that I say, right? Because sometimes I say something that my counterpart is not happy to listen from my side, right? And I want to see what he's doing. So we can simulate that part. Actually, we can also recreate the scene of the negotiation. Like, oh, you are in a big room. There are some a big screen with the project status, and there are two guys on the left and one in front of you, and he's looking at your eyes in a very skeptical, sarcastic, whatever. And you will see all these kind of gestures during the negotiation, right? So now I'm going to tell the model like, okay, yeah, happy to talk in person. How are you doing? I'm just going to show you what the model will respond to. And he's giving me the body language of this person based on what I said. You know, he said, oh, body language, he's crossing his arms. He's maintaining his stern expression, not highly. He's also giving me his gesture. So I can imagine, I can recreate that scene and his action, no? He's friendly, right? So that gives me maybe more a better idea to start the negotiation, because I see that this guy is very more friendly, right? And but he always likes to take the lead on the negotiation. And then I continue the negotiation with the model. Okay, so this is just one example how you can build the role play scenario. Again, this is very simple way. We'll go through the other ones which are more complex. Okay.
So, Misael, do
And
you think we
yeah,
could have a quick break now? Or should we have one more model in this demo before the break?
yeah, this is the last one that I have to share today for this first part of the demonstration. I think it is good timing for the break if time allows.
Yes, yes, amazing. Okay, thank you so much, Misael, and thank you guys for reacting in the chat. We're going to have a 5-minute break now, so please be active and throw in some questions. I think maybe we could take these questions not at the end of the second part, but maybe at the beginning of the second part. Misael, what do you think?
Yeah, I would
After the
love
break.
to have questions after
Okay.
the second part break.
Okay, good. So please mute your cameras, mute your mics, enjoy your, I don't know, 5-minute dance or walk, or just take some active rest, to allow your body have some energy flow in, and then we'll see you back. And let me play some music for you. All right, guys. So the music was pretty rough one, but I hope you had your own and had some time to have a break. Let's come back slowly and in another minute start our demo. Yes, and so while we were away, actually, there were some things happening in the chat. Yes, yes. Okay, so first of all, how are you up to the break? Give me some reactions. So my reaction would be clapping. How are you guys? Yes, yes, great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks. Yes, perfect. So I think we are ready to continue, and I see that you're very much engaged and interested. So I'm not, spending too much time talking. Misael, I think we can take a couple of questions before we start the second part.
Absolutely.
So there was a question. What's the difference between AI coach and AI agent, but in 2 words? Because we don't have too much time.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, the coach is it will help you to negotiate more effectively, meaning that he will think about that you have Chris Boss, Kirk Jensen as your coach, and he will be the one that gives you advice. He will walk you through the negotiation and prepare you better, right, for the negotiations from a negotiator expert standpoint. Now, the agent, right? The agent is like the example I did before. You give the role, right, to AI. Now he's going to perform the task of analyst, for example, right? Or he's going to perform the task of I don't know, negotiator, for example, the one that is going to negotiate with suppliers in the case of Walmart, for example. And you are giving the role to that agent, and he will be the kind of your assistant, but executing X amount of tasks rather than that giving the advices as a coach. So similar to what happens in our real work. I'm not sure if I answered correctly the questions to the audience. Hopefully I did.
No, it's good. It's good. It's great. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Pauline asked this question and she just said thank you in the chat. So, Misael, very nice. We have another one. Do you think, from Sergio, do you think ChatGPT could help us indicating that the negotiation is going well or not so well, and give us some tips for it?
Yeah, that's a pretty cool one, but yeah, it can tell you whether it is going well during the negotiations. I'm saying during the simulation, right? That is what I'm guessing that during the negotiation in the simulation form, certainly you can set up some parameters in the prompt to tell it, hey, whenever I say something wrong, or if I'm misleading the negotiation in the wrong way, give me the hints or give me the tips. How should I behave? For example, let's say that my counterpart is reacting with some tactic like take it or leave it, right? So maybe ChatGPT will tell me, hey, Misael, my advice to respond to this person is this way. You decide you want to use this one or how you want to respond. And then it is the time for you to respond in to make your own judgment, right? So bottom line is, yes, you can it can tell you, but in the simulation process, right? At least what I have experienced and experimented. Probably in research there are more advancement and universities that have other kind of laboratories. They may have, through the lens of the AI, maybe they have cameras and they can react and get more information from that. But for ChatGPT, this is what I can tell today.
Thank you, Misael. And the last one before we start. So, how do you cancel a persona customization in ChatGPT?
Oh, okay. Yeah. There are, how to say, two ways you can do it. I'm going to show you very quickly, okay? Because I think it's very important also, rather than just speaking, to see how we can do it, okay? I'm going to show you my screen. In second, please.
So this is a smooth transition into the demonstration. The last question, kind of dragged you into opening the ChatGPT.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a better way to learn, right? When you see it, and hopefully in the coming workshops, we'll see people to open their computer and try by themselves. They can live a very great experience. Okay, so let's talk about that. I put here all the information, right? That's ChatGPT, right? Because I want to, I want to cancel all the settings I did. There are two ways. One is here, right? You remove all the settings here if you are in ChatGPT 3.5. But, and by deleting this, you just need to start a new chat. In any event, you can tell the model, hey, please forget everything we talked before. And let's start a fresh conversation. Okay, so it is updating the memory, and he says, okay, I'm not going to talk about anything related to negotiations, right? And now we start everything from clean. So this is one way to do it. Now, those that have ChatGPT 4 or Advanced Model 4 or 4.0, you can also go to the settings. And there is one part that ChatGPT has, which is the memory capability, which means that ChatGPT, just like humans do, like, you give information in your memory, and in the future, when you are talking to someone, you will recall and say, hey, yes, I remember this, I remember that. So we can do the same with ChatGPT. Right now, I deleted all conversations, but in here, all the conversations that you will have, those will be stored in this area. But I cleared them all for this workshop purposes, but you can also say, hey, I will delete it from the memory of ChatGPT, and you can do that just by getting into this part. I'm not sure if I respond to the question, Diane, or I don't know if...
No, perfect response for ChatGPT 3 and 4, so we can use it in any version we have. So thank you so much. Okay. Yes, very helpful.
Do we have more, or we have?
No, we can start now.
Okay,
yes.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, so again, everybody, I really thank you for staying here with us on this workshop. Hopefully, it will really be fruitful and helpful for you, and you take a lot from this workshop. My intention is to keep you engaged here in this workshop, and I will continue. Okay, the next part of this workshop, it is focused on complex prompts, and it's not so difficult for you. I mean, I'll show you very quickly how it will works, but we are going to go through some self-assessment, some role simulation, but in a different way. I will start first with this prompt that I really like it. We were inspired to build this prompt from the book from Mr. Kel Jensen. Okay, he's also a very famous guy, and he wrote a book, Negotiation Essentials, and he also have in his book one assessment that is pretty amazing. And this prompt, it is for to make your, how to say, negotiation skill self-assessments, right? So maybe this is the starting point that we should also do when we want to improve our skills, because you cannot improve what you cannot measure. So it's important to know where we are, right? And what we should improve. So in this prompt, we are telling, hey, I want to, I mean, you are Kel Jensen. I'm telling again the persona, right? And help me do a self-assessment, okay? And here are the 20 statements, right, that we took from his book, okay? So all the credits to him. And these are the formula, right? Here are the parameters that you should use to respond, okay? And then here are the 10 questions or statements that will help me to do so. So I'm just going to copy the same prompt, okay? Because we don't have so much time here, but I'm just going to show you. Again, this prompt is on the document guide that we shared to you. So all of those who register and download the document, and go to the email and check the link and download that great document. Okay, and now ChatGPT says, yes, I'm Kel Jensen, right? I'm going to help you to assess your negotiation skills, to identify your strengths, and your areas of improvement. And here are the criteria that you should respond. Never, rarely, sometimes, and when you do it, always. And the first question the model will ask me is, hey, you are usually well prepared for negotiations? And here, guys, I think when you do it by yourself, you should be brutally honest with you. I mean, no one is going to see your scores, but be brutally honest with you. And I think it will be very good to you, because you will see later, because it will not only be how good bad you are, but it will also give you some good advices based on the assessment and what you should improve, and will give you some good resources to study, okay, and master in negotiation. So now, I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm just going to show you 2 examples. So I'm going to tell, okay, well, maybe sometimes I'm prepared, right? And the next question is, you view negotiation as a collaborative process? I would say sometimes. I'm not going to be just one example, right? Because sometimes negotiations are quite, how to say, particular, right? In specific scenarios. And it will go through all the 20 questions, right? But I'm not going to go through all of these questions because it will take us a lot of time. Well, not a lot of time, but it will take maybe 15 minutes of our workshop, right? But I already had this conversation with ChatGPT, right? And, I answer all the statements, okay? And those are very interesting because it will also help you to reflect, because sometimes you go to a negotiation and you are not well prepared, and you lose those negotiations because of lack of preparation, lack of information, and there are some things that you can practice. When you practice, you will really perfect on negotiations. You will improve a lot and will be better in front of your counterpart, right? So when these when you answer all the questions, okay, ChatGPT will create this summary, okay? And, based on your responses, remember the ones that I answered with 1, 2, and 3, those are the ones that I need to improve, right? Those are my improvements areas. And that is stated in the prompt. And those are 4 and 5. Those means that I'm really good at it, so I don't need to worry much on this, but I should work on the others, right? Now it says, your score is 64, you have a lot to improve, and he's listing here all the specific areas of improvement that I should focus on. And he's giving me some advice, right? What I should do to improve. And he's also giving me some resources. He's giving me even some books for every aspect of the improvement area that I have. And this is great one. I think that you guys should do it at home when you have time, practice and do your self-assessment, and to see how you are and how you should improve, right? So this is the first one I wanted to talk to you, okay? And now I'm going to go through the negotiation challenge. This is a cool one, I like it. And this is only to demonstrate how good you are in negotiations. And I really encourage you to try at home when you have time, play with it. There is one cool thing also with ChatGPT that now you can synchronize your desktop version. I mean, what we are doing here, right? If you have the same account, you use it on your phone, okay? Download ChatGPT and you start voice conversation with ChatGPT. And you can tell ChatGPT, hey, let's follow up the conversation. So let me show you here. ChatGPT, you have here the list of all the conversations, right? So the same in your phone, you will see these conversations. So you just press on the conversation on your phone, and then you continue these negotiations. If think about that you are going, how to say, that you are on the probably you don't want to be in front of your PC, or you are going to a cafeteria, or you are on the go. You just copy paste it and then go to your phone and follow up the conversation, and then you will continue this negotiation on your phone, voice to voice with ChatGPT, so that you don't need to be here reading all the information. Okay. Now, this one, it's a challenge. Okay, so we are going to simulate a, a challenge here. Okay, the problem, you only need to change here there are two parts in the problem that you have to change here. Is in at the beginning, I mean, in the document, you will see here, instead of the name, you will see expert negotiator. So you can put the name of the person you want to negotiate, right? So because Donald Trump, for example, if I put Gandhi, if I put another famous person that is already internet, ChatGPT already knows about him, and he knows how this person behaves, right? Based on all the information that is already on internet. So now in this negotiation, right, we are going to go through how to say, to change the name. Okay, and I'm going to say I'm going to negotiate with Donald Trump, and we are going to negotiate how to split $2 million. Okay, and he will embody how Mr. Donald behaves. I can put Gandhi, for example, and you can see how the communication with the model, how the interaction with the model will totally be different. This guy, for example, it's quite. He says, "Hey, let's get down to the business. I don't like to talk too much." And but you talk to Gandhi, for example, Gandhi will say, "Oh, my friend, let's do great, amazing things. We have to look for the peace of the world and have everybody happy," stuff like that. So you will feel the same, how to say, emotions, right, during this dynamic. So I'm not going to go through all this, because also we have limited time, but I'm just telling, I don't know how is your family, because I want to be friendly. Maybe I want to build some rapport before we start the negotiation, right? And let's see what he says, okay? And he said, "Oh, my family is fantastic. Thank you for asking. But let's get down to the business." So he doesn't like to talk too much, right? And then I will negotiate with him. What is my offer? How I will convince him to negotiate. And for sure, my goal is to take the higher stake of this negotiation. So I'm going to show you the conversation I had, just so that you have a better idea. Okay. Yeah. So I started the conversation with him. Okay. And this is one cool thing that I did, and similar to what I did last time. Yeah. Right. During the negotiation, we started negotiating. He said, "Oh, he always want to take the higher stake, but he said, for you, 0.8. And this is the way I need to start playing the negotiation with him, right? But I wanted to take it to the next level, right? I said, "Hey, I want to see body language of Donald, how he reacts, what are his body languages." And then he's expressing here his gestures, right? So anytime I talk to him, right, I'm seeing also his gestures, his body language, and this is pretty cool thing, right? So at the end, what I was able to do is, 1 point for him and 0.9 for me. I mean, maybe you guys are better at negotiation, you have a better strategies, and maybe you can get more or take the higher stake for yourself, okay? And once you finish this simulation, you will get here the all the how to say, the feedback, right? How you perform, your strengths, your improvements, and the strategies that you can use in the future. How to say, negotiations. Okay. So Diana, do we have time for the next demo? I think I'm not sure if how we are in the agenda. I have one more, but I'm not sure if the people or if we have enough time.
So far, I don't see much of the questions, and I think maybe we could have the last one and then go into the advantages. What do you think?
Okay. Okay.
We
Cool.
have 10 minutes and like 9 minutes so far in total.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So this is the complex one. You see, it's quite long, this prompt, okay? But this is how we build the scene of the simulation. This is how we create the narrative of this negotiation, how we collect the information, because, you know, we are building the scenario, right? How we set up the role play, right? ChatGPT can create, he can give me 5, he can give me 10 negotiation scenarios based on my context, or I can tell, oh, you know, here is my case, here is what I'm dealing with, I want to simulate, right? And all this information is about what the prompt is going to do, okay? And at the end, I will have the feedback from ChatGPT on how I perform and why should I perform, and some suggestions for my negotiations. Okay, so I'm going just to show you very quickly how it works. Okay. All right. Quite long. Sorry, guys. All right. So, you know, as I said, we are building this scenario and he will collect information about me. So he says, you know, I am Chris Croft. You know, he's a famous speaker and good negotiator in the context of project management. And he said, here are my goals, right? And before I do that, I want to know about you. So he said, can you tell me about your profession, your background, whatever? Okay, so I'm going to tell it. And you guys, you can tell it about the industry that you are. Maybe you are in construction, maybe you are in oil and gas or retail. You just tell what industry you are, and when he creates the scenario, it will create the scenario based on your context. Sorry, what? Okay, so I'm just going to, I'm telling it, okay, this is who I am. Here is my level of expertise, right? Because this is important, right? And then he's telling me, hey, can you describe your experience in negotiations? Okay, I'm going to tell it, yes, I'm mid-level, for example, right? And this is another cool one. He said, hey, do you want to practice in any specific area of the project management? Say scope, cost, schedule, whatever. You just give it and specify it, right? For example, maybe I can say about, let's say scale, for example. He continues collecting the information, right? And he says, oh, you know, I have these options for you. Which one do you prefer to practice with? Or he said, do you have another one in mind? Okay, and here is where you can insert the one you have and starting your negotiation simulation.
Misael, and actually here, I think it's a good point to ask the question that we just got from Musa. So he says that it's very nice idea to check all the points before real negotiation. And as you said, you can insert something from yourself. Can you actually upload contracts? And if yes, are there any limitations, to program the model?
Upload contracts?
Yes.
Yeah, I think, this is pretty sensitive and we should be very careful because, you are using the everything that you upload to ChatGPT, okay? Everything it is on the cloud or on if so think about that. If you upload information, personal information or company proprietary information, it's very sensitive. So I think that if you are going to do so, you should first check internally with compliance in your company if you are going to upload that, because you are not, you are uploading your contracts, and that is something that sometimes is compromising. So if your company allows that, or you are using ChatGPT Enterprise version, or maybe Copilot, which is that your company is doing using already is licensing with those kind of how to say versions, probably you can do that, certainly, and it can help you analyze the contract or analyze you the document information, and from there you input the context and simulate that, right? Yeah, I'm not sure if I answered the questions.
Yes. All right, so can we conclude now with some of the advantages, and finish this part?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think now it's time to, and again, just to conclude with this one, when you finish the simulation, I'm not going to go through all details, you will also get the feedback, right? About your strengths, what you did well, what you should improve, and he's giving you some suggestions like what are the best alternatives in negotiations, what are the possible zone of agreement, for example, and giving you some tactics that you could use during that negotiation, like anchoring, like a balcony, and these are really good for practicing in negotiations. Okay. All right, now let me share my presentation again. Okay.
So we have a couple of minutes to polish it off.
Awesome. Okay, so guys, hopefully those demos are helpful to you. Again, you can read at the document, and also you can send us your questions or send your feedback. How do you think those are helpful to you? And also you can share with us some ideas. We can collaborate together and make great improvements here. Maybe there are a lot of things we can do with these tools. And I would like just to finalize here just with the advantages of using these tools is that is very human technology. You don't need to have any technical background to interact with these models, right? You will have instant feedback when you are when you are using AI as a coach. There is another cool thing that is called time machine, which means that you can go back to the conversation, you can edit that conversation, and you edit it and you restart that conversation. Unfortunately, there is no time to explore all the stuff we can do, but certainly when you read the feedback, maybe you say, hey, I could do this better. I will practice it. Okay, now you go back to that conversation, specifically to that point that you did wrong. Now you say, I think I can make it better. And you go back and restart again the negotiation. Now, we didn't have time, but I we have the capability to switch into your own language or to your preferred language. ChatGPT can support more than 50 languages. With the latest version of ChatGPT O, you can negotiate in your own language, and even can use some phrases, some slangs, with this even jargons, which makes the negotiation even better. So you are in the negotiation, you just copy this prompt, even this in English, but you tell, hey, let's switch to Spanish, let's switch to Slovenian, let's switch to French or any other language that you like to talk to, and you will feel it more emotion and more to your context, right? And those are the things that I would say it can really help you a lot. Okay, and this is the last part of my presentation today, and I encourage everyone that I know you are always super busy and have a lot of things at work, but use it on your phone. I mean, download ChatGPT, the voice capabilities with the latest release. It's pretty amazing, believe me, and you will really enjoy it and practice real good negotiations. So you only need to make sure that you are using the same account on your desktop and the same account on your phone to synchronize all these conversations. Okay, and with that, Diana, I think that's all from my side. Hopefully, I cover the first part of our program, and people is how to say, I fulfill the expectations of this workshop. So that's all from my side, Diana.
Misael, thank you so much. I've seen such a great engagement from the people, and if you read the comments, everyone was like, wow, that's so useful. Wow, we need that. Wow, that's cool. So thanks again. Yes, really. And if you don't mind, maybe sharing your LinkedIn page or something in the chat. So because there was a question that I didn't take because unfortunately we don't have time. So maybe some of the participants would like to connect and discuss further. If you don't mind, that would
Absolutely.
be very, very great. Thank you so much, Misael. Applauses to you. And with no further ado, I am inviting to the stage Joe Murphy. And Joe Murphy is a 4-time author. He is also founder of the Leadership Academy and renowned as the Force Multiplier Coach and a former corporate executive with 28 years of experience as a professional speaker and also a great inspirer. He empowers leaders to maximize their impact and drive organization success. So it's an honor to host you, Joy. You've developed such great negotiation skills. Please tell us more about that. And yes, hello.
Well, first of all, it's an honor to be here, Misael. That was unbelievably in depth. That's kind of scary and exciting all at the same time. That was powerful. My hat's off to you.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, I'm supposed to do a teaser here, but I got a little bit of a presentation. Do you mind, Diana, Absolutely. If I take controls and just go through a quick PowerPoint of what I'm going to cover in July?
Yes, is that okay? Could you stop?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think yes.
I stopped sharing.
All right, let me see if I can do this. I'm not a master at Teams. I usually do most of my work in Zoom. Give me a second here.
That's okay. I feel you, Joy.
Well, this is always exciting. It's always not sure if it ever works for me correctly. And when I make presentations, when people ask me to do these kind of things, let me see if I can find it. First of all, give me a second.
So while you're looking for it, I'm just going to reply to a question about PDU points. Someone asked in the chat. Yes, guys, you will receive it. Just stay till the end. We're going to share all the details just in like 15 minutes. And yes, we can see it, Joy.
Okay, good. Let me reshare it because I forgot to press sound, and I'll go back to it again. All right, such a pleasure to be here. I want to just move some things around and get this back up. Slideshow. All right, can you see it now? All right, this is effective body language in your negotiations. Can everybody see it? Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. Did I move to the next slide, Diane? I'm watching your face.
It's working.
Okay, excellent. So what I'm going to cover in July is body language in negotiating, and it's not an easy thing, but I've already noticed some things on this call that I want to call your attention to, if that's all right with you. So where am I? Let's see. Let's go back to where I am. Let me go back. All right. Diana, I'm going to embarrass you just for a minute. I want to use Diana's picture here. Does everybody see Diana's picture up in the left-hand corner? Yes? This is where you take yourselves off mute and you say yes, we.
Yeah, and people are showing
thumbs. Okay,
up,
I can't see them.
Yes.
All right, good. What do we notice about Diana right now in this picture? What do you notice?
Oh, I don't see anything. You see black?
Oh, you don't see the PowerPoint that I have in front of you?
Is it a screen? It is a screen of our meeting, right?
Yes, a screen of your meeting. Up in the left-hand corner, do you see it? Right here?
Yes. So maybe
what do you
in the
see
chat
about Diana, everybody?
You could share it.
Oh, you don't see it? It's not being shared? Oh.
No. Everything is okay.
We can see it.
All right.
Yeah, we can see it.
I'll make this bigger. How's that? Sorry, Diana, I'm embarrassing you. What does everybody see?
Oh,
Paying attention.
Paying attention? She is framed in that picture. Do you notice that? I don't know, Diana, where you practiced that from, but we're using Zoom and Teams so many times. Sometimes we're not in the frame. And what Diana is doing is giving her most important self, the shoulders, her face, and she's right in the middle of it. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yeah.
It's not a small thing, everyone, because sometimes we're over here. We're looking over to the side because we have multiple screens and we're not facing the audience. And what she's doing, she's in a power position. I don't know if she's done this intentionally, but she's exuding power and she's got a presence. And I want you all for the next week or 2 or 3 or 4, forever, get your laptops up, get your screens up higher so they're eye level, so that you can, don't adjust yourself, Diane, so that people have that eye point of view, so they're looking at into your eyes. And you're squared with your shoulders. Already, I've given you something to take away from, because negotiating is not necessarily power over people, but it's power of your subject. Does that make sense? And you want to give that presence. In this particular case, in how I do these classes, I do a number of classes all over the world about leadership, and I do it from Zoom. I show videos of experts. In this particular video, I show, for example, and I'll show it.
Nonverbals are anything that communicates but is not a word. The public knows them as body language. How we dress, how we walk, have meaning, and we use that to interpret what's in the mind of the person. My name is Joe Navarro, and for 25 years I was a special agent with the FBI. My job was to catch spies.
I'll stop it there because that's a little bit of what we're going to get into, different speakers and different body language. In the next couple of minutes, what he would say is, people think when their arms are folded, can everybody see me? Does everybody see my picture? My arms are folded. Okay. Yeah. People think that that's blocking. And he points out, and I agree, a lot of people just want to be comfortable, put their arms across their chest. And we misread body language. Sometimes when you hold yourself, and I learned this from somebody I dated a long time ago, she said, It could be just somebody holding themselves. And he points out this is a soothing thing that people do. So anyway, what we'll go through are the basics. We'll go what to avoid doing, don't do. We'll go into how to use Zoom or Teams. Look at the people that I work with. These are people I work with. They're all scared of me. All right. We'll go through using different parts of the body if you're face to face, how to use your hands, your fingers, your arms, your torso, your feet. By the way, I didn't really do a great introduction of myself. I come from an IT background, and I was a managing director of a consulting organization for about 8 years, and I became a senior vice president. Now, I'll give you all these fancy titles to make you impressed, but to relate to you only because I have worked in IT and did a lot of negotiating. And I'm assuming that most of you at PMI are in IT in some form, but we're always negotiating. And we're negotiating contracts, change orders, scope changes, hiring people, dehiring people, getting a raise, people negotiating with us to get a raise, and be able to communicate and persuade in a positive way. I want to make sure it comes across positively. I also saw, Misael, that ChatGPT talked about BATNA. Does everybody know what BATNA is? Have we talked about BATNA? Okay, great. Wow. All right, I love BATNA. So the other thing is to be culturally sensitive, because now we work in a worldwide. What works in one country does not work in all countries, and we have to be aware of that. I'll go show you how not to be manipulated, how to spot manipulators, whether it's in your love life or at work, and how to back off and then reframe things so that you don't get sucked in and drawn into discussions that really lead nowhere, that become energy time drainers. I'll show you I hope to show you the difference between manipulation and persuasion, because there's a fine line in reading body language and negotiating with people and using the body language and see where somebody really needs you and doing the right thing and looking for the long term and persuading people to your idea, but also learning to be persuadable because somebody else may have a different point of view. But these are all about this. I know it's all about body language, but we'll go into and we weave into a lot of the things that were covered here. I'll talk to you about how to read the room and find out who the decision maker is, because sometimes the vice president or the boss is not always the decision maker, and who the key influences are. And I'll talk to you about what we're really aiming for is building win-win solutions where everybody wins because you want to get a long-term relationship. So understanding body language, once you start to understand it, you could drift into not using it for the best of intentions. So I'll stop sharing there. I think it's going to be great. You all are a great audience. Everybody's now framed up a little bit differently, right? You've adjusted the cameras, right? Because you want to be framed. And you don't want to have two different screens. I have a brother who's in IT. He works for, I don't think it's Cisco. No, he works for Oracle. He came to my mother's home. My mother's old, and he had 3 screens. And he was looking over here, and I'm saying, "Where's your camera?" "Oh, it's over here." I said, "They can see the side of your face. You can't negotiate with your team by showing your face this way." He said, "But I got to see the data." I said, "That's your problem. You got to deal with people, not the data. Move the screen underneath." Okay, that's the second thing. Some people have the screens up here and we're doing this. Let me tell you about where we are. Instead of, okay, and remember the camera is right there. Okay, not here, there. All right. That makes sense? Is it going to be exciting? I'm Joe Murphy. I'm here for your success.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you.
And I felt like, when you started, you feel the energy and you feel your frame as well. So amazing to learn from professionals. Thank you so much. And
thank you all for letting me be here. And I don't know if you're going to go to midnight. You're going to, what time is it? Over in Mariana. Mariana, what time is it where you are?
Oh, it's 6 p.m. So
okay.
it's
I thought it was
okay.
like midnight.
Yes, we're not going to bed. No.
All right.
It's too early.
All right, I'm going to sign off. You all have a great rest of your meeting. Thank you for letting me be
Thank
part
you,
of
Joe.
it.
Thank
Be
you.
exciting. Take
Thank you
care.
so much, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes. Misael, could you please turn back the slides on and share them while I'll continue to finish up our workshop for today? Well, that was such a great energizer. And actually, Joe just spoiled a little bit of the announcement. Could you please go to the next slide? And the announcement is that we are going to have 4 workshops in July 2024. And these workshops will be on boosting your negotiating skills. And as Joe said, it will include the body language and some other things for you to actually practice and have coaches and go to breakout rooms and train yourself to have better results. So please join us and tell your friends. I shared some of the links in the chat right now about with our LinkedIn group, our YouTube channel, and the survey that we are asking you to fill out. You can also scan. That's the word. Scan the QR code to give us your feedback and to tell us how it was for you. What did you learn? And what are some things that we could improve, or something what was very well done. And the last thing, but not the least, some of you asked, this is the claim code for the PDUs that you can get after this workshop for your membership. Please take a note of that and go act on this thing. So guys, it's been 2 hours. And I think even though we have the survey, we'd really like to ask you all to share one thing, one takeaway from today's workshop in the chat with us. I say that one, my takeaway from this whole workshop, I can start. And something what amazed me even when we were preparing is that in ChatGPT you can also look at the gestures and have this breakdown and really simulate and imagine it and learn more about the body language of the person as you are kind of preparing yourself with the ChatGPT. What do you have? Okay, Wendy tells us to scan the QR code for survey feedback. Thank you so much. Gestures, AI coaching. Thank you, Pauline. Someone else? Maybe something else that you are taking away. Sergio, what about you? I saw you were engaged. Yes, role play with AI for negotiations. Thank you, Wendy. All right, so please fill out the survey and don't forget that you are going to receive a PDF file that Misael talked about with all the prompts for you to play around and act on that in the next 48 hours. Play with it and get engaged with all of the tools that you can be using to improve your negotiation skills right now. I think yes, we have some more from Alex, some takeaways, accelerated learning and personal AI coaching. I think the coaching thing is the amazing one. You don't need to pay for the coach. You can just, use ChatGPT, or pay for the paid version of ChatGPT 4. Use of GenAI for improving the negotiation skills. Thank you. Body language for negotiations and the frame, right? Using it in the Zoom. Okay. Thank you, guys. If there are no other questions, because we have another couple of minutes, if maybe you might have some, then we can finish it up for today and keep in touch. Yes, use a very role-played body language. Amazing. Yeah. Thank you, Josie. Yes, thank you to me. Thank you, Misael. You were wonderful. Joy icing on the cake. Amazing, amazing. Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot. And we did the timing. We even have this 5 minutes left to take a break before the next meeting if someone has it today. Yes. All right.
See you on July.
See you. Bye-bye. Yes, thank you, guys. Thank you for attending and being an awesome audience. Such a great engagement and questions. It was amazing. It was super interesting. Alicia, I see you have raised your hand. Robinson, can we unmute Alicia? Yes, Alicia, we're ready to hear something from you. No, we can't hear you.
Yeah, don't worry. Diana, I think we can take also their comments and reply in the chat.
Yes. Thank you very much for the comments of my moderation. I was happy to be a moderator. Alicia, could you please then maybe tell us in the chat? Okay. All right. So let's finish here. If you have any other questions, you can see our LinkedIn group. Please share the link. And also you have the contact of Misael regarding anything what's to the AI matters. We are happy to see you next in the next following workshops. So I think we can stop recording here and stop the official part.
Sure. Sure, Diana. Thank you.
Yay! Thank you. Gracias a todos, muy interesante y sorprendente.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I know some Spanish.
Muy bien, excelente.
Wow.
Very good,
You
great,
impressed me.
excellent.